Hi, I'm Dan from MiddleAgeMarathoner.com, and I recently conducted a detailed survey where I learned some of the biggest challenges that are faced by middle-aged runners who either are training or are interested in training for half and full marathons. Many runners, ranging from beginners to veterans, participated in our survey, and they indicated that they would like more training info in order to help them reach their goals. Some of the comments came from middle-aged runners who are just starting to run, and maybe they use the run-walk method. We also had comments and people that participated that have run numerous marathons. They run 6-7 times per week. They complete strength training and CrossFit exercises that are a part of their training. They're experienced runners. But a common thread among all the responses was that despite following some of the gurus of our sport, many runners still struggle with their endurance and simply being able to achieve their goals. In this short video, I want to give you some actionable training tips that will help you in your full or half marathon training preparations. When completing our survey, many runners admitted that they knew they should be completing some kind of interval or speed work. Something that was faster than just simply going at an easy pace. The problem is they just weren't sure exactly what to do or what pace to go. A lot of people also told us that they wanted to knock off significant time, 30, 40 plus minutes off their latest marathon. But their challenge was that they just weren't sure where to start. Does this sound familiar? I've encountered quite a few runners over the years that have a similar problem. You see, there's just so many plans from which you can choose, but they just want something that's clear and, more importantly, tailored to their abilities that will help them achieve their goals without injury. I'm happy to tell you that I can help. I've been running for over 37 years. I completed my first marathon over 30 years ago. And I've completed numerous half marathons and other races. And in my experience, the most important component of marathon training, the thing that'll help the most to ensure your success on race day, is following a marathon training plan that's specific to your athletic abilities. This is typically not going to be a free plan or one that comes out of a book. Instead, it's a plan with specific paces and workouts that match up with your goals and abilities. Ideally, you want a plan that provides nutrition and strength training info that helps ensure that you're fully prepared for the physical and mental rigors of a marathon and marathon training. During your training, you should be developing gradually through 4 training phases. The first is the endurance phase. Next is strength, then speed, and finally tapering. Each phase builds on the gains that were developed in the previous phases. So you really can't skip a phase. For example, endurance is the cornerstone of distance running success. It's where we sharpen our aerobic capacity. this phase is the longest and most important of your training plan. So, here's some of the key elements for half and full marathon success. First, you got to have consistent mileage. The general rule of thumb is that we don't want to increase our weekly mileage by more than 10% week to week. So during the beginning of our training, we should extend our longest runs by just 1 mile at a time, up to when we get to our 10-mile run. After that, we can increase by 2 miles at a time. But we also need to take recovery weeks as well as recovery days. I recommend increasing your mileage for 3 to 4 weeks slowly, but then backing off by about 15% for a week before increasing your training again for the next 3 to 4 weeks. You see, if you can't recover adequately from your runs and your week-to-week training, you risk overtraining and reducing the quality of your hard training sessions, especially later in your marathon training. You don't have to train hard 7 days a week. In fact, I don't recommend running 7 days per week, especially as you get older. What I've found is that using a 9-day training cycle instead of the more common 7-day per week schedule is actually perfect for middle-aged runners. You see, what it does is it allows for 2 additional days of rest in each cycle and much more flexibility to complete long runs, tempos, and speed work. We're all busy. You need those extra days. You need to integrate running at a marathon pace into your training. So that's the number 3 thing. What this will do is it will directly prepare you for the demands of the race. So running at that marathon pace is really important. And you can do it in a few ways. First, try completing your training runs at marathon pace. Start with a 10-minute warm-up and then run at your race pace for a specified mileage or time. Might be 5 miles, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you build up to it. Second, you can run a tune-up race. So 10Ks, half marathons, they're great because you're going to have plenty of aid stations and plenty of other runners around you. I just caution you, when you do this, limit yourself to the day's goal. Run the race no faster than your marathon pace. Even if you're just running a 10K, just run at the marathon pace. The last way to finish your long runs at a marathon pace. That's a great strategy, and it's used by many different coaches because it really works. I incorporate this finish fast or finish at marathon pace into my personalized training plans for those people that I coach. And the way it works is you start with running faster during the last 5 minutes of, let's just say, your 8-mile run. Eventually you're going to build up to the point where you're finishing fast for the last 25 and then 40 minutes of your 18 to 20 mile runs. And the key is make sure that you don't complete too many long runs at marathon pace, because if you do, it can greatly increase the likelihood of injury, because these longer runs at a faster pace are going to stress your body in a similar way that the marathon does. But because we do these finish fast or marathon pace workouts in a limited duration, you can generally recover within a few days. There's numerous other tips that I can share with you, but I'll stop here to keep this video somewhat short. Getting advice that you can trust to train for marathon or a half marathon can be tough. I know this. I've tried many different plans and worked with a few different coaches over the years, and I've spoken with many runners who become frustrated with poor advice or advice that just wasn't suited to their athletic ability. I have the perfect solution for you, and it's in my free download, which you can get today, called The Secrets of Successful Middle-Aged Marathoners. All you need to do is click on the button below this video, provide your email address, and I'll instantly send you a bunch of advice that you can start implementing today. It's a short read, don't worry, but regardless, if you're a beginner or a veteran runner, I'm confident that by using this information, you will notice a difference in your ability and confidence to prepare for your upcoming event. So you can show up on race day fit, fresh, and ready to achieve your goals. So, if you found this information helpful, I'm happy to report that I have more in addition to the free download. Just let me know your email address. I'm not going to bombard you with emails, but you'll be included when I do provide info out to my other friends, where I discuss key elements of marathon training. Some of the topics include how to pre-train, how and why developing your aerobic base before you start a 12, 16, or 20-week marathon training plan will actually help ensure your success on marathon day. Other topics that are short and easy to read are things like motivation tips, nutrition tips, strength training, info on how to avoid injuries, and much more. You see, I've trained for numerous half and full marathons over the years, and I've worked with many middle-aged runners, just like you. So I know it can be a grind. I would really like the opportunity to help you. Just provide your email so we can keep in touch. If you have any questions, there's a contact link on this page. Just please click it. You'll get a little form and you can fill it in. It takes a couple seconds. I promise it. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks and have a great day.